Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 10th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aries. And in your first row here, you have the spirituality card. It says, use money magic spells to increase wealth and prosperity. It also says spiritual advisor, healer, tarot reader, or anything of the occult. So I kind of actually just feel like you're being guided at this time. You have the lovers, and I don't necessarily think this is love. I feel like you are being guided in a new direction. Literally, the Knight of Wands can be a new direction, or kind of it. As I always say to you, Aries, I'm not so sure that you're actually like completely changing the direction of your life. To me, it's more of an upgrade. I always get these feelings of like, I know I say this to you like for the past like 3 months now. But I don't think it's a bad thing either. I think this is a great message. It looks to me like you are upgrading something in your life. It could be where you live. It could be your business. It could be your health. It could be anything. And, I do feel like it is going to take you on a new journey. It is funny because you do have some heartbreak here, and I don't think it's heartbreak. I don't think it's funny either, but, I would say that some of you, I think it's more the energy of having to leave something behind. A lot of people seem to be going through this right now where we could be heartbroken in the sense that we're not heartbroken. We're just maybe, like a little bit more. We're like a little bit sad that we have to let go of some things that we've had in our life for a long time. So it's more like it's more nostalgia. It's not really actually heartbreak. I hope that makes sense. And, that's kind of what I'm getting here. And, that's really what I feel for you. Definitely a new direction. I mean, amazing. You have the 8 of Wands, 3 of Wands, which is like waiting to pick a direction, and the 6 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. These are all cards of, changing direction, everything that I just said. So it fits in very well with what I just said in this reading. Of course, there could be love here. It doesn't really look like a big love reading to me, more of like a little one. So if you want love, there could be a person coming in. You have the 10 of Pentacles, which I do consider to be the best love card in the deck, because 10 of Pentacles is a person who wants to build and leave a legacy. And as I always say, with Uranus and Taurus, I think that pretty much everyone will be attracted to a person who wants to build and leave a legacy, like more than just love. You have this Knight of Wands, though. And I feel like the Knight of Wands is more talking about your desire. Knight of Wands comes up for a lot of people right now because we are in a time of desire. I personally believe that we're in a time where we have to listen to our desires, but our desires probably don't make sense. It's like, and I think that if you look at the astrology, there are just major conflicts between the old world and the new world. And, it's like the old world is get a job, get a career, drive 2 hours to to an 80-hour work week, job, and get a second job, and like all this other stuff, right? But it's like now I think the universe is trying to get people to understand that we can break free of the system and be free doing whatever we desire. It could be anything. Could be knitting, could be doing YouTube videos, whatever it is that you want to create. I would say that there are a couple rules. As long as it's something that inspires people in your life, it could even just be one person. Those things are probably going to be better than just doing anything, right? The other thing is, as long as you're like learning and growing, it could be anything. As long as you have something that kind of grows the desire to learn more. So, those are the things that are going to be very successful. And this doesn't have to be a business, as I always say. It could be like a job. Could be just like a side project, or maybe you want to write a book about your interest or whatever. I think the people who work on things like that are just going to have a really easy time over the next like 20 years or so. So, that's what I would be kind of doing there. And, like I said, it could be anything, no matter how big or small. You have the 3 of Cups here. I feel like there are a lot of people around you. We go this way, 3 of Cups to the Strength card to the 3 of Swords. If you are going through a heartbreak, love or otherwise, again, this could be any type of heartbreak, I do feel that there are people in your life who you can lean on, who like will give you strength or who will support you. So it seems to me like, if you're having a hard time, for whatever reason. For some of you, I even just feel like this is emotional, but temporary. 3 of Swords, it's raining on the card, and it doesn't rain forever, right? And so the 3 of Swords represents a temporary heartbreak. But for some of you, I feel like it just could be temporary, like emotions, that you're feeling. We're going to pull from this deck here. This is a Lenormand deck, and but it has some cards in it that are not Lenormand cards. It's crazy. You have this snowflake card, and right here you have this snowflake on this end of the month card. So the snowflake card, again, this is not a traditional Lenormand card, and it just represents something different or unique entering into your life. It seems to me like, a lot of people have had this card, not everybody, but a lot. And, especially if you're looking for love, I do feel that for the most part, people are going to be attracted to more unique individuals. So, that could be the case here. But really, I feel like it's talking about you, again, picking a path. I don't even really get much love from your reading. That does not mean you will not have love. I'm just saying, for the most part, I feel like this is talking about a decision or a direction that you're taking in your life. Going to be very unique, probably going to change your story, but I also feel it's going to be very successful. I mean, are you kidding? This right here is freaking amazing. I love this. Even this is very amazing as well. So, definitely very good energy. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Lilies card. And this card, it can represent experience or becoming experienced in life. And that's the word that's like popping into my head with this card. It's like there's some sort of experience that you are kind of experiencing, but it's like you're gaining is what I meant to say. I'm also getting like, especially if you have had some sort of delay, like recently, if you've had a delay or, kind of like one of those annoying moments in life where you're trying to get ahead, but everything just stays the same. It's like not good, not bad. It's not a delay, but it's just like kind of the same, right? And that's the energy that I get here, Aries. If you have had that in your life, like in any area of your life, doesn't matter where, I feel like that this was to help you gain experience, and it looks to me like you're about to kind of, break out of this type of energy, which is great. You have the dog. The dog is, of course, a card of loyalty, companionship, people who want to help you. So, again, Three of Cups. It's a card of friendship as well and friends. So a lot of you could be attracting a lot of friends right now, or it's just saying there's a lot of support, which is what I'm getting with that Three of Cups, is that there's like a lot of support and help coming in for you. The dog can also represent a soulmate. So again, just a little bit of love here if you want it. And I feel like you could be kind of like attracting a new soulmate, but I don't really get many details this week, but again, it's just a weekly reading, people. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this bad investment card. It says, not investing in the right things, people, or bad money management. Invest wisely with your energies. Your time and money are limited and valuable resources. How you choose to invest it will have profound effects on your life, both personally and professionally. Yeah, I feel like you need to be careful of all your investments. I even think that some of the lessons that you've learned are like bad investments, but I'm not talking about just money, like, your time with people that you give to certain people, or your effort that you give in relationships, like all those things are popping into my head. And I feel you've had a lot of lessons, Aries, all about kind of like who you can give to, who you can't give to, and what situations you can't either. As far as money investments are concerned, your money actually looks really, really good. I mean, going this way, very good, going this way, very good. But there is something here. The Ace of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles are both cards of like nurturing your finances. And I keep telling people, it's like people keep asking me about investments for this year. And I keep telling people as well that I think that, and I've basically been right, that it's going to be very up and down, crypto, stocks, everything. It's going to be very unpredictable. I wouldn't even attempt to predict like where the markets are going this year, like even if I could, because it's just like, if you look at the astrology, there's too much unpredictability. And the thing that I don't necessarily trust, although I don't think it's a bad thing, is Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is actually very good for financial freedom and values, but it's like we have to be honest with ourselves. If you're investing in something just because some dude that you met on the street tells you that it's gonna, 10,000x your money, then you're gonna get spanked by the universe, as I've been saying for like months now, because of Uranus and Taurus. It's like Uranus and Taurus is almost like very unpredictable, and it can also sniff out if you're just doing something just to do something without doing your research. So I keep telling people, I think there's more money to be made than ever, especially with investments, but you have to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and you have to do your research and, all that extra stuff. So, and you could do it, and, Eight of Wands is very, very quick success as well. So I keep telling people, like, be cautious. Like, I wouldn't be selling your house to buy crypto or anything like that, right? I would be very cautious. And again, don't listen to me either, right? Don't listen to anyone, really. Listen to yourself, because I have no clue what I'm talking about, right? I failed math my whole entire life, just a major math failure. So numbers, numbers, not a good combination, plain and simple, right? So what I would say here is, like, do your research as much as you possibly can. That's one thing that I can tell you. And, just pay attention as well. And just realize that if you're investing, like, don't be surprised when you buy up here and then it comes way down here. But, what I would say is it's probably going to go back up here and then come back down here. It's just going to look like this. You know what I mean? So, again, I would pay attention, and it's going to happen. These moves are going to happen quickly as well. It wouldn't surprise me, by the way, for those you crypto people out there, it wouldn't surprise me if this month, if we had a little bit of a dip here. I've noticed that every single Mercury retrograde, crypto takes a dip. So, if you're looking to buy, might be a good time to, again, do your research and, kind of like dollar cost average or whatever. You have this not financial advice. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Next, you have the strength card. Strength card is a card of patience. So again, it is popping into my head that if you're thinking about making investments, I would just be patient here. And again, there's nothing wrong with, dollar cost averaging, as I always say, or, just doing the healthy things. That's what I would say with Uranus and Taurus. The reason I think this is so important for you is your Taurus is the very next sign, and it's your second house, and Jupiter just is about to enter into your second house as well. So, again, there's kind of like a lot going on there financially. And so I feel like paying attention would be a good idea. Again, even if you're not interested in investments, I would be patient with the things that you invest your time, effort, energy into. Kind of giving me Nine of Pentacles vibes. Normally on the Nine of Pentacles, she has 6 pentacles on one side, 3 pentacles on the other, and it says that she only gives 3 pentacles to situations, and she always keeps enough for herself. So I think that not just this week, but for the rest of the month, and I would say like the whole entire retrograde into the second half of May, I would just, I don't think you shouldn't invest in things like your time, effort, energy, money, whatever, but I would just, don't blow everything all at once is kind of what I feel like this is saying. I don't know why this is so important, but it's popping into my head like crazy in this row. You have the Three of Wands, which is, what are you waiting for? So I do feel like there is something long-term, which Uranus and Taurus rewards this type of work right here. 10 of Pentacles and this right here. The Ace of Pentacles is like a garden. It is something that takes a long time to grow. It is something that you have to nurture into existence. It's something that has seasons. You have to water, fertilize it, give it sun, all those things. And I keep encouraging people to work on some sort of garden in your life. It could be an area of study where you're learning about something. It could be your finances. It could be your health, right? But I would pick one at least, because you will be rewarded handsomely. That's why. And I know it's not sexy because, trust me, I come from the marketing world where everything is like, oh, push button solution this, but really, again, I hate to say it, but Uranus and Taurus is not push button solutions. It is like take your time solutions. But the other thing is that these are permanent solutions. I always say easy come, easy go, especially with Uranus and Taurus. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Child. This is a card of fun and enjoyment. I think if you're doing things that you enjoy, you're just going to have so much more fun, but also things are going to flow much more nicely in your life. I also get something about, it's a child, right? Children make mistakes. They're inexperienced. They don't necessarily know like what they're doing or whatever. And I would say like, make sure you're making small mistakes, right? Again, if you're like investing money and you've never done it before, just like try a little bit. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. But again, don't invest more than you're willing to lose in whatever you're investing in. Same thing with a relationship. You meet a person, it's Mercury retrograde. I always tell people, don't let astrology control your life. I love astrology, obviously, but I'm also very realistic. It's like, to me, I still do everything during retrogrades. It doesn't change my life at all. I still buy electronics. I still sign contracts. Oh my God, like shocker, right? And all this other stuff. And guess what? Nothing's ever happened because what do? I follow the rules. I double check everything I do. I have someone else, if I'm signing a contract, double check what I'm doing, right? And I always make sure that there aren't any mistakes. But what I would say is I think that if you're like investing or something, play a little bit small so that if there's a loss, not a big deal, and you can learn from it. If you play big, that's where the mistakes are going to happen. I also do get something here about educating yourself. Again, this is a card of inexperience, the Child, and then we go down to the Ten of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is obviously a very good card, but it can be a card of hidden or secret information. It doesn't say that the information is being hidden from you. It's just saying that you haven't found it yet. So, I always tell people with the 10 of Pentacles that to do your research again. If you're like signing a contract, really make sure that everything is there. If you're getting a new job or entering into a relationship, kind of take your time to learn the ins and the outs. It's weird. I feel like this is a monthly reading for you, by the way, Aries. Like, I feel like all this is going to apply until the middle of May. With the Strength card, you have the Garden. Are you kidding? literally, I said the garden. And so there you go. I would be nurturing something into existence. This is a very good card, and it can represent like a celebration, parties, like having fun, but, obviously can be a card of growth, abundance, just good stuff. With the Three of Wands, you have the Star. Really good card as well. It's like a card of hope, faith, renewal. It can also be something that you are feeling guided to do here. And I kind of feel that. I feel like there's a lot of progress coming in for you in this direction. But it's like you building something long-term in your life, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. And that's what I'd be doing if I were you, clearly. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this card that says end of the month. It says timing will be perfect. Precision, unique, fragile details. Pay attention to the details. Like, are you kidding? That's everything we just talked about. So I would be paying attention to the details, every single little detail. I think the more detail-oriented you could be, the more successful you will be. And again, maybe you are making an investment, and as long as you pay attention to the details, you could be very, very successful as long as you're paying attention to the details. And, that's what I would just say here with this energy. I would also say that, if you're working on anything, that, that card says precision on it. So you have Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is like laser-like focus, being very, very focused on what you're doing. So I would make sure that if you're like working on a project or business, that you give it dedicated attention with the Ace of Swords. And what I mean by that is like when you're working on the project, that's the only thing you're working on. Same thing with relationship as well. It's like maybe you're getting into a relationship. It's like when you're with that person, give them your attention, right? And when you're not, I think then you can go, work or whatever. But, it's like I think sometimes we enter into relationships and we bring our business problems into the relationship, or we bring other issues into the relationship, and that's what causes a problem. So I feel like this is saying, it's kind of like saying separate things in your life and don't bring one problem into a new situation. You have the Ten of Pentacles here, so I really feel that there's a big focus for you on long-term security. Again, with Jupiter, entering into your second house this year, and then, officially next year, it will be in your second house. Really amazing for money, but it's like more about building. I feel like you're like building long-term financial abundance and success and financial permanence as well. You have the Three of Swords. So Three of Swords can be a separation, and, I feel it, but I really feel it's more kind of just like emotional is the energy I get here, Aries. I would also be careful of, I kind of do feel it saying like, be careful of your emotions surrounding money as well. You might feel like this could be overspending is what I'm getting here. Or it could be like getting too excited about an investment that doesn't turn out your way, right? And, I would just pay attention. With the Three of Swords, you have the Moon. The Moon is a card of trusting your intuition, number one, but it can also be a card of illusions and fantasies and things that are unseen. Mercury retrograde this month. I would be, again, I would really be doing your research on anything that you're entering into. It doesn't matter what it is. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Mice. The Mice is about stress and worry. It's also about slow progress as well. When you think about it, mice chew through walls very slowly. And, I feel that maybe, remember what I said, it's like with that Lilies card at the beginning of the reading, it's almost like I get this feeling of, I feel like you've been making slow progress, and but it feels very middle to me. It feels just like this. And, so it's like you haven't been getting what you want, no matter how much, I think what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter, like, if you put in extra work or less work, everything is the same, right? It's like, it's not like you're seeing these big, I think sometimes people think, oh, if I put 10 times the amount of work in to my business, my career, or even a relationship, then things are going to go up. But it's almost as if things are just staying the same, right? And I think what you're missing is the Ten of Pentacles. Again, the Ten of Pentacles can be a card of hidden secret information. There's a couple of, well, there's really a million ways to read this card, but, normally this guy here would be the patriarch of the family, but he can also represent just an older, like a beggar who's coming to this family and giving them a gift. So it basically represents a person who has nothing to give, giving something to the family as a gift. They just had a child, this family on the card. So, it kind of represents getting information from something that you wouldn't expect. So I always tell people, it's like, it's hard to describe, but there have been times in my life where, it's like I've been recommended like random videos on YouTube, for example, and it like answers a question in some other area of my life. So it's like you never know where the information is coming from. The other thing with this card is there have been a million times, I'm a clueless Pisces, right? So, there have been a million times in my life where it's like I do something and I completely skip over like an important section of instructions or something like that, right? Very Mercury retrograde, so I would be double checking or triple checking things with this card. It's a very good card, but, again, with this mice card, I would just say, anything you're doing, I would triple check. With the Ace of Swords, you have the dice. This is not a Lenormand card. And again, it says gamble, risk, playing, blind faith, uninhibited, boldness, playing with fate. Yeah, I would definitely be careful of your risks this month, or like the size of the risk is really kind of like what I'm getting here. It's funny because on this card it says timing, it says unpredictable, which is basically what I've been saying this entire time. It's like things are extremely unpredictable, especially in regards to finances. Like I said, I get tons of questions about investing in crypto and stuff like that. I'm like, to me, I love crypto. Don't get me wrong, but it's like very unpredictable right now. And again, I think that people should be very careful. I think that we've already seen a bunch of scams being exposed. There will be a ton more, trust me, over the next few years. And again, just you don't want to get caught up in those scams. So I'd be very, very cautious. I would do your research and don't invest more than you're willing to lose. But this could be some other risk that you're taking here. I'm actually going to pull another card on that. Can we get more detail on that? You have this house card. It says, I see this card is Taurus, and it is number 4 as well. This is kind of like playing it safe, is what I'm getting here. This card can represent moving, and I do feel like some of you could be moving, by the way. But I also feel like this is about kind of like the position that you're in or that you're putting yourself in. Some of you, and again, not telling you what to do, someone always comes at me and is like, oh, the Chinese are controlling Bitcoin and they're going to screw it. I'm like, okay, great. If that's what you believe, then buy gold or whatever, right? I don't care what you do with your life. I'm not here to judge. And, but I would say if you are into crypto, this could be one of those things where it says like, hey, just make sure to make some life changes. Maybe you see yourself investing a lot. Make some life changes so you can do that, but also have security. So, I get something about security here. Same thing, I get a weird message about relationships here as well. Like some of you, I feel like you're kind of like getting ready to open up to a new relationship. And it's like, I feel like there are just like certain types of security that you can't know that you're going to have is what's popping into my head. It's like sometimes I think we get into a relationship and we're like, oh, this last person left me, and cheated on me or whatever, so I'm going to tell this new person in hopes that they don't leave me. And it's like, I feel like this is saying, like, be careful of trying to get ahead of something, because it's like by doing that, by putting the energy out there, it's almost like you're creating it. I hope that makes sense. I don't know, weird message, but I feel like it's saying, like, don't do things to try to make something not happen, like in a weird way. Does that make sense? Probably not. I don't know. Weird reading. I feel like I'm babbling on here, but I don't know. This feels like a very important reading as well here, Aries. No clickbait. Again, I would, I feel like this is like a monthly reading, or until like the middle of May. From now until then. You have this future card. It says, you have perfect clarity in a situation. Trust your inner knowingness. Yes, do not doubt yourself. I think the one thing that will mess you up as well as other people, it's like, I get you, you might have some idea to like invest in a cryptocurrency, like something, and people might tell you you're stupid, but maybe you're genius. I think that really what's going to be important as well is protecting your own opinions this month. The same thing with love. Like you might be in love with a person and people might tell you, no way, don't go for that person, but actually it might be the person of your dreams. So, I really feel a need to protect yourself and to trust your own intuition this month. I also feel that some of you, it's like you could be early to something. Those are the words that I'm getting here. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. This Ace of Pentacles, it's like you might be one of the first people to do something, and I don't really have a good example, but like, imagine if you were early to TikTok, for example, and promoting your business. And, if you were early to do that, you could be very successful. TikTok was crazy when it first started. The traffic was insane, right? You could also be early to move to like an up and coming city that is really small right now, and it's like you're gonna get the benefits in the future. That's like what I'm getting here. But I get like a billion things. This is like one of the wildest readings I've done for you in a while. There's so much like pouring through my head. That's why I'm like trying to take my time here, Aries. But It's like you could be early to, like, maybe you have a YouTube channel, like you have the star here, which is fame and fortune, going this way right here. It's like if you take your time with the mice is very slow progress, but you have the 10 of Pentacles. It's like if you take your time, learn the ins and outs of something new that you're doing, it's like over time, you are going to become very successful. And again, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles is like permanent success. It is not having to worry about like where your next paycheck is coming from and all this other stuff. You have the Six of Swords here. I feel like some of you made a decision to move on from something from the past, like maybe over the past like 3 years. And I really get this feeling of like opening back up. So some of you could be opening back up to love. And I feel like you're going to see like how that was a really good decision. Like some of you, it's kind of weird because maybe recently you've been thinking to yourself, you know, maybe that was a mistake to leave that person behind because now I can't find anyone. But I feel like what you're about to find is better, so not a problem. I also feel like some of you could be moving. You have the Seven of Pentacles as well, which is a change in direction. This last row, by the way, is the good stuff. And I feel like there is going to be like a very positive change coming in for you here, like a change in direction. And we talked about this kind of at the beginning of your reading. So let's see. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the man. There you go. This could just be a person. No, traditionally, this would be a man, but I'm reading for like a billion of you. So, you know, it could be a person coming in for you. And I feel like it's a really good opportunity. So if you want love, really, really good is what I would say. With the Six of Swords, you have the Anchor. Yes, this card is all about safety. So, you know, it's kind of like a good, bad card. It can represent being stuck, but really it's a card of safety, security. You know, when you think about it, a ship anchors itself down so it doesn't move around, so it can be stable. And I feel like there's stability coming in for you here. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Fish. Love it. This is a card of wealth, so there's clearly a lot of wealth coming in for you here. It's also a card of like money just flowing in for you. And I really feel that energy. It's so weird. You know, it's like, I feel for a lot of you, there is really good finances here, but I also, and maybe that's it, right? It's like, sometimes I think we can make really good money, and it's like saying, don't go buy 10 Ferraris, right? Make sure you save it. Make sure you put some under your mattress or something like that, right? So that's kind of like the energy I get here. I am getting something about like, you know, fish also symbolize like these small wins, like doing small little things. And, you know, maybe that's what this reading is also talking about. I say maybe because it's not intuitive. This is not an intuitive message I'm getting, but it's almost like this reading is saying, you know, if there are certain like little things that people do to, you know, protect their wealth, for example, or to, you know, be smarter with their health or their relationships. And this reading is all about the little things, is what I'm trying to say. I think if you can kind of get those little habits in order, then the big things will come. Very weird. The weirdest reading I've done for you in a while, but I love it, you know, at the same time. And you're going to have to pay attention. Definitely, like, I wouldn't be, you know, lazy this month in your paying attention to things. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. Yes, you have the Soldier card, literally a card of being disciplined. So I think this month it would be a really good, and again, I know this is weekly reading. I really feel this is until the middle of May, like I already said. But, you know, I would say for the rest of the month and next month, I would be very disciplined in like the decisions you're making in all areas of your life. If you do that, you're going to be a winner. You have this thought card, a lot of thoughts, a lot of thinking. Could be why the reading is saying like be careful of sharing your thoughts with other people. They might try to influence you, and I definitely get something here. It's weird. There are like no bad cards here, but I get this like energy of influence. It could be that Moon card as well. And, you know, we do have an eclipse this month, so, you know, there could be a little bit of influence going on here. You have the Gift card. Yes, this is like a card of abundance and success coming in for you, so love it. Next, you have the Cheerfulness card. A lot of happiness coming in for you. And finally, hold on. Does not want to give me a card, so let's see if we can get one here, Aries. Yes. And you have this Misfortune card. Yes, I would be very careful. I'm telling you right now, this has not happened yet. I feel like I would be careful of those moments where someone says, like, hey, invest all your money in this, you know? Like, I don't know. I was feeling that in this reading. So, you know, I'm not saying don't invest in something, but I'm just saying, you know, would it be wise for you to take that type of risk? I would say, hell no. I would be careful, and I would really trust your intuition here as well, especially in finances. But other than that, looks amazing. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it, and definitely enjoy your week.